welcome to Alongside Lauren. I'm Lauren and I'm so thrilled that I get to spend a little bit of time on this Sunday afternoon with you while I get my life sorted for the week. Well, as much as I can. This week we are dining on one of our favorite meals here at Alongside Lauren, and that is a Greek style stack. I have lovingly prepared it already and it is cooking away in the oven and smells amazing. So it consists of a really veggie-full mix with some spices including paprika and cumin and ground coriander and a boatload of oregano. I made the foolish decision to add in a habanero chili, just the one, and it's going to be real spicy this week. And it is topped with a beautiful mix of cheese, onion, garlic, and some more fresh herbs, layered between pita bread. Oh, it really is delicious, and we're going to be serving that with some roasted cauliflower and spinach. And we are also hosting a potluck dinner tonight with our Bible study. So we have got some pulled pork, which has already been slow cooked, and my amazing sous chef and husband, Heath, is going to do the very manly job of getting the bear claws out and pulling that pork. And we are serving that with a beetroot salad and the other thing that I'm going to do, because, you know, just in case we don't have enough people bringing food for the potluck, I have to make sure that I single-handedly have got enough food here to feed 12 people. And so I am going to be making a bread and butter pudding to go with it. So what I will do is very quickly and expertly duck out of shot and grab a big old bowl of various types of bread that I cut up earlier. So we've got here some leftover, I guess it was kind of a Turkish style bread from Baker's Delight, but it's not at all savoury. It's a fairly neutral flavour. Instead of using Nigella seeds, they used black sesame seeds, so it doesn't have that same spice profile that you would tend to associate with Turkish bread. And we've also got the remainder of the fruitless panettone. I can't remember what it was called. Fruitless panettone. No, I'm not going to do that. That's really offensive for several people and embarrassing, so I'll stop. That I've got sliced up here. So I've got roughly 10 cups worth of cubed bread. Well, it's supposed to be about an inch sort of in diameter, but I a little bit fast and loose with that whole inch thing. So some are an inch, some are a little bit more, and that's fine. It's all good. So I cut that up earlier this morning and have kind of just left it out, which felt really weird. But I want to make sure that the bread is pretty dry so that we don't get like a really smushy, like an overly smushy mix with the bread and butter pudding once we put the custardy mix in there. So speaking of custardy mix, I'm going to get cracking on the custardy mix, which is a very technical term for it. And so we're going to melt some butter. Just a little bit of water left in the Thermomix there. I can't quite remember how much butter I need to put in there, but this is all the butter I have left. We've done a lot of baking this weekend. So this is how much butter is going in there. So I'm kind of basing this recipe off the Recipe Tin Eats recipe for bread and butter pudding, because in Nagi we trust. And it's such a delicious and comforting and really cost-effective way to be able to create a delicious, truly delicious dessert, but also uses up bits and pieces, which I love. So I'm very sorry, but I'm just going to melt that butter. I'm using my Thermomix. You could use a microwave. You could use your stovetop. You could probably not sit on it because it would take ages. But I will get that melted. And it is going to be delicious. I mean, like, not the melted butter. Although, you know, each to their own. While that melts, I'll pull out the other bits and pieces that we will be adding to this bread and butter pudding. So I'm going with like a banana-y kind of vibe for it, mostly because I have a lot of bananas that need to be used up, that are all kind of just languishing in the freezer. But I also think like it's a nice flavour, and it lends itself really well to bread and butter pudding. We had a bunch of people around for State of Origin a little bit earlier this year, and I added bananas to the bread and butter pudding, and it tasted delicious, if I do say so myself. And I do. So I've got some cream. Oh, that's the other thing. I made some evaporated milk yesterday because I had a bunch of milk that was on its, well, potentially heading towards being on its way out. And then, I knew it was there somewhere. And so it was a good way to kind of rescue it and be able to use it for something else. I have become quite the convert of using evaporated milk as an alternative to cream. And I'm just very quickly grabbing a container of long life milk. That apparently lowers cholesterol because it has plant sterols in it. I don't know if that's accurate. I don't know if anyone else thought it was accurate. That was probably why I was able to get a litre of it for 28 cents. I love me a clearance bargain. Whew. I also need some sugar, cinnamon, wee bit of salt, and vanilla. I know you are there. I saw you. Come on, vanilla. Why are you hiding? Alright. I do not know where the vanilla is. I know it's in there. I saw it this morning. It has to be somewhere. And I'm going to very quickly consult my recipe. So the main reason why we are running so low on butter at the moment is that we had a birthday celebration for a really dear friend of ours, Tim, and we've made him a birthday cake. It needs a little bit longer. And we've had a bit of a tradition where for Tim we would make him honey joys. Yes, the delicious cornflake based treat adored by children and parents catering for birthday parties the world over. Well, maybe not the world over. I think it's definitely an Australian thing. Would you say it's an Australian thing?
Yeah, I think it might only be an Australian thing.
Alright, now I've got a little bit longer for this Greek stack to cook, but I think it's ready, so I'm going to pull it out now. It honestly, oh my gosh, it smells so good. How good does that look? Ah. Spectacular. And that sort of cheesy, herby goodness on the top. Oh, so good. It's going to be such a good week for dinners.
Hello.
Perfect. So this is my husband and sous chef Heath.
Hi there. Hi, everybody. Yes, so you've got some very exciting things that are all happening. Way to go.
I do.
The Greek stack looks amazing. Can't wait to eat that all week. That is going to be great.
It's going to be so good.
Yep. So how many eggs you got?
We're going to be using 3 eggs.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so the bread and panna cotta. No.
Well, yeah, it's the fruitless panettone, which I can't remember what it was called. It was like... Did it have a... Was it a Z?
Yeah, I can't remember.
So, oh no. Yep, that's definitely that.
Well, the good thing is it's fruitless, and I really enjoy.
I did that.
I really enjoy bread and butter.
We have a potentially suspect egg, which is why we do this.
Yep.
Does that smell alright? Yeah, no.
That's right. No
That
dramas.
is why we
Yep.
crack the eggs into a separate container.
Exactly. Very, very rare that we'd have a dud egg, but that one just looked a little questionable. So, yeah.
Can you just check to see
Good
if
safety move. Do you want a fresh cup?
Yeah, I would love a fresh cup. Can you just check to see if that butter is melted?
Sure. It is. But interestingly, it's not, like clear. Do you know how
Yeah,
normally when
interesting.
you melt butter it would be totally
Yeah.
clear?
Alright,
This is
so
almost like custard.
we will need 3 tablespoons set aside. So can you
Okay.
just get some crumbs? I just had an
3
egg get stuck in the in the cardboard and break.
3 tablespoons of what, sorry?
Of the butter?
Okay. I've got something called a half tablespoon, so I can manage that. And by set aside just into a mug or something like
Yep,
that?
that's
perfect.
great.
I'll do it back here.
Okay, now I've got a few eggs that are still good. And so I'm going to just get you to move a little bit.
It was 3 tablespoons or 2?
3. It's always a little bit tricky when you're trying to double. Like when you've got a container that's a bit not quite the size that you're after.
All right. There we go.
Don't mind me while I just
I
perform
like your
a
trick
little
here.
bit of surgery
This is-
on the
This is clever.
egg cardboard. Perfect. All right, that
That's
can
going
go in
back
the
into
fridge.
the
And if you
fridge.
can maybe just put that in
I like it.
maybe the compost, that would be great.
Sure.
Lucky we have extra eggs, hey? All right.
Right.
So into the beautiful melted butter mix, we'll add in our evaporated milk and cream. So I've got here some leftover whipped cream, which is it's lost its oomph. And so it is the perfect thing to be able to add to our bread and butter pudding, of us just using up bits and pieces. So I was just saying I've got some leftover whipped cream.
Perfect.
That I'm adding in.
Some bonus.
And I've got the evaporated milk that I made, which is actually quite solid.
Yeah.
So that was 900 grams of milk that I just sort of cooked away at a lower temperature for 2 and a bit hours.
Mhm.
And it's just thick
Cool.
and rich.
Yeah, okay.
This is something I reckon about evaporated milk and banana that seems to work really well together too. So let's just say that that's, I don't know, 1.5 cups. And then we'll add in a cup of milk. And we'll add in the bananas. Now these were defrosted after they've been frozen, so they do look a bit worse for wear, but they'll blitz in and taste absolutely fine. Like, I cannot express how great this kind of a recipe is just to use up bits and pieces that you've got sort of languishing. I've got a really small amount of, I made a banoffee jam, is what we decided to call it. So I had a whole heap of bananas. So just got bananas with jam and, because I'm classy, Canadian Club whiskey. And added some orange juice and orange zest and cooked it down. And we'll add in those eggs too. And as I very quickly just check that recipe, we'll add in cinnamon and sugar. So a teaspoon of teaspoon of cinnamon. And also adding in that 1/2 cup of sugar. Oh, that Mexican stack, Greek stack, whoops, just smells so good. There's a bit of a, I think I said Mexican goodness, because my mum would make like a Mexican stack while I was growing up, and I think that was where you first encountered it, darling. Is that
Indeed,
Mum and Dad's
yeah.
house? I'm just going to put the rest of the sugar in because I can.
And I have never turned back. A stack of anything, if it contains cheese and a bit of meat,
Yeah.
maybe some
So
spices.
good. I'm just not quite ready to give up on.
Did you want me to have a bit of a
Finding-
squiz?
Yeah, I'm just not sure. It got put somewhere strange. Anyway.
It was a tiny little. Are you talking about the tiny little?
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Let's look at the scoreboard.
The problem is that it is so tiny.
Smells so good. Alright, well, I'm just going to blitz this as is.
Okay.
And if it turns up, it turns up.
Ah, got it.
Oh, you got it. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There we are. Brilliant.
Just gives it a nice, good mix. And it's getting all of the bananas all nice and smushed up too. And it just smells Like it smells a bit banana-y, but it's not too intense. And so we're just going to pour it all over. And I'll give that a little bit of a gentle fold through. We don't want to be too rough with it.
So this is what I'm a little bit confused by. You intentionally dried out the bread a bit,
Yeah.
only to soak it again.
Well, because you need it to be dry enough that it will sort of hold its shape. Because if it was really soft, even just an act of me stirring it a little bit, you would just end up with, like, I'm trying to think of a term that's not goop. I hate the word goop. Heath uses the word goop. And
I do.
It's often when my defenses are down and I'm feeling mildly irritated.
And you really take offense to it as if it's in anything related to your food that you've prepared.
If Heath is using the word goop in connection with my cooking, I do take exception to it.
Doesn't tend to go down well. No.
So I'll give that dish a bit of a spray. And this is where Heath laughs at the amount of food I'm trying to put into a
very
container.
small glass dish. You are very optimistic when it comes to these things.
I'm optimistic about weather, and I'm optimistic about being able to fit things into dishes. But I feel good about this. I feel really good about this bread and butter pudding. It smells so
it's going to be
good.
delicious. Yes. So did you explain what we've got going on tonight?
That we have potluck for our Bible study. The way that potluck with us works is that we do not have a preset thing of you're bringing salad, you're bringing bread rolls or anything like that. It's a true potluck, and that means that if everyone brings dessert, then we're all just eating dessert. We also, I still don't understand quite how this works, but we have been known to all just be like weirdly on the same wavelength. So one potluck we had, was it 3 different types of curry sausages?
Yes.
It was amazing. We could do like a compare and contrast, which was really fun. And last potluck that we had, we were all obviously just feeling pasta because we had, I think, a macaroni cheese, a chicken pasta bake, and 2 different types of bolognese. Would you believe? And that was just fantastic. And then we had someone who just decided to bring garlic bread. So it all just worked perfectly.
It did.
But was definitely weirdly thematic. So I'm just going to let that stand for a little bit, just so that we can get the bread to kind of soak in that custard. And then I will top it with that beautiful remaining melted butter. And then it's going to go into the oven for about 30 minutes. So just until the custard is set. It's got like a little bit of jiggle. But it will just be fabulous and is such a great way to feed a bunch of people with something which is going to taste amazing and definitely, hopefully, won't taste like it was made out of a bunch of random stuff that I found in my fridge. But they're my friends and they're pretty used to me feeding them like that anyway. And I can't wait to discover what else I'm able to create out of my fridge all next week on Alongside Lauren.